Mark. Okay, I just woke up and I'm gonna be doing this every Saturday morning. Well, every Saturday morning that I have free at least. We are going to be programming some games. A game, not games, like multiple or just one game. Well, let's start with the premises of this game. Because you know this is kind of fun. I want to get some people involved in this and see how they feel about it, stuff like that. You know, have some fun with it. Yawn. I'm tired. It's morning. It's morning time. As you can tell, I have the morning voice. All right. So, just to let you guys know, there's nothing finalized about this game. It's literally, I spent 1 hour on it, like sometime this week or last weekend. I can't remember when I actually started working on just like trying to understand Unity. I'm a very beginner in Unity. I have 1 year of experience in software development aside from my college experience, so like I have that on my hands, but like it's technically not in game development, which is different. Like I understand the all the basics of how game making works, and also as how like programming works, but game development is a whole new class of programming. But it's not too hard to cross between different like sections of the world of programming. So yeah, let's go to my desktop view. Okay, so this is a storyboard, my notes I have, not too much for this game. I got a little bit of something. I'll just show it briefly. Here it is. This is just something I'm working on. Really nothing. I literally don't have anything here other than when I press play, this falls and hits the bottom. That's it. No movement, no nothing, because I have some special movement that I want to do. Maybe I'll start with like basic movement, because maybe that needs to happen before I actually do other movement. But this game I want to make a little bit more unique. So with that said, let's go back to our storyboard, because we got to plan what we're gonna do today, or have a goal. Let's try to have a goal today. The goal might actually not be that big of a goal, because I'm doing some other things that like might not have like too much crazy stuff involved. But yeah, so for one, the game name is not set in stone. I'm trying to figure out what game name this is gonna have. I have a rough estimate of what I would like to do with it, so maybe I can come up with a game name later on. We will see about that. Of course, this morning nobody's gonna be on later, or on today, so this will be a very, very slow done time. But yeah, all right, so Gravity Man is kind of the code name that I'm gonna call this. Every few weeks, as you know, that's my interest. Cool. All right, so Gravity Man is kind of a little bit what I was thinking about naming it. So why do I want to name it something like that? It's because it kind of deals with, it messes with gravity. That's like the whole idea of the game. So we have a few different features of the game, which is like how we do crazy things with it. So this game, I do think that I'll try to make it universal for different consoles. We'll see. I don't know how Unity works with that. Hopefully I don't have to reprogram things, so we'll have to work with what we can work with. So for starters, we have movement. How are we going to actually move? There's actually not like a joystick or WASD to move the character. Instead, it's going to be W and D. I have WASD, but it's really just W and D. I might actually just remove those, because it's gonna be W and D to rotate the screen, or a joystick back and forth to rotate the screen. So the screen, aka the camera, like the more I'm looking at this, it's gonna be the camera will rotate, and the character falls in proportion to the camera. So whatever's the bottom side of the camera is where the character will fall to. So there need to be some collision physics of some sort that makes it so he falls that direction and such. There is going to be no movement. There's not going to be, or actually, well, there is going to be movement, but not like crazy like WSD movement where you move the character itself. You're going to move the screen. That's one feature of movement. That way it can be on phones. I just think this is going to be more geared towards a phone, where you have a phone, you have a gyroscope on a phone, and you want to move the phone, and you're also touching the screen while moving the phone to do certain things. So I don't know, I think it'd be super fun. I just see people like playing the game like, oh, how do you do this? I gotta like solve a puzzle, and then you're doing something like crazy with your phone. So that's kind of like what I want to do for movement, is this gravity falling movement. That's kind of why I call the code name for this game is going to be Gravity Man. That's not the final name of the game, but that's kind of what I want to do. So that's like one of the movements. That's gravity movement. I'm gonna call that GM for now because I think that's gonna be an easy code word for how that movement works. Next one, toggle to follow conscience. So I'm gonna have it so there's like a little like conscience or like a little like fairy, basically a fairy in the game that kind of circles around your character, and you can control where that fairy is, like with your finger or like with a mouse for a computer, or or your other joystick for consoles. So basically, so you have one joystick for the camera movement, and you have one joystick for the fairy. So you're not actually controlling your character at all in this game. You're actually controlling the things around the character. So this other fairy, you'll control where the fairy is, which is good because the fairy can hover over certain objects to activate them, and like stay hovering over them to activate them. Like I don't think it's gonna be automatic. Oh, you're over it, activate. It's gonna be like a hold a little bit and then it activates kind of movement. That's kind of what I was thinking in my mind. Then I might have a button. So you move over to an object and you press a button, and it might toggle some movement. So while you're holding that button, so this is where it might get. Actually, I guess it might be a trigger for. Yeah, it might be a trigger for console. Like a trigger button, so you can be able to hold trigger button and your character will follow that conscience the best it can, the closest path possible. Basically, it's gonna be a 2D game, so it's, you know, just really along whatever platform. So I think that's gonna be a secondary movement that you could do, but you know, you might want to move that a little more, or like move the screen to move faster, because you can, you know, make him fall down towards the direction that you want him to go. So I think that'll be a secondary movement. And then I have the hold nodes to activate them while holding. So those are the three basic things. You got camera movement or whatever. You move the camera and you fall in proportion to where the camera's, like, you know, situated or how it's situated. You have the fairy that you control that, you know, activates nodes of some sort that does in puzzles. And then you also have a button or a trigger or a button where your character will try to follow the fairy as much as possible, as much as it can be done. All right, and then hold nodes to activate them. That's just another thing, but that's like kind of like just the fairy controlling. Now this is like some other ideas. This is not going to be coming into the gameplay until way later in the future, because multiplayer is a whole mess in its own self. So we have advanced or player 2 controls, where there's a second conscience. So there might be one conscience that controls the player. This might be single player. That's the single player mode. But there might be a second player mode, or like co-op mode, where there's only one character and, you know, there's a second conscience, and basically the second conscience or other consciences after that would be damage dealing, where they might have some special abilities. When over a enemy, it deals damage. So it's just like a, I don't know, a guy that like sparks out that, like, you know, as long as near enemy, it deals damage over time. Or it has like an ultimate burst attack where you like press a button or something and it explodes, and it has a cooldown on it where that could do a lot of damage towards enemies, as well as it might have a arrow on it, like on that conscience. I'm calling them consciences because I think that like suits it better, where when you press a button, it'll fire at that enemy. So I think that's like a player 2 where they couldn't control the second conscience. I just had a thought just now that maybe the second conscience could actually have all these special abilities, but also maybe also take control of your character, your main character, like the main character that controls like in the middle of the screen. The only problem with that is it could get kind of confusing, because if both of you are doing toggle movement, that could get messed up or whatever. So I have one more idea as far as maybe another function in the game is leaving trails for your character. So you can move the fairy, and maybe you can drop like movement trails where like it can follow the trails that you leave. I put that, do I need this function? I kind of put that for later because maybe I don't want this function. We'll see. All right, but I have a tutorial level storyboarded out, so we're gonna try to work towards finishing a story or finishing an actual tutorial, because I feel like once we finish a tutorial, that will be like an alpha test. That'll be a solid alpha test. This will take us a long time because there's a lot of different things that we have to work on. We have to work on movement, we have to work on these camera angles, we have to work on gravities of stuff, we have to work on like when you work on the art aspect of the game, like the actual assets of the game, because right now I'm using textures and they look awful, and I want actual characters eventually, so we'll have to get art for this game eventually. But yeah, so basically, I don't know, I got a little storyboard of those things that happen. So like, oh, I think I'm stuck in my capsule, I should press the toggle pad to open the exit. I can't move. I wonder why. Wait, I can feel something shift around me. Can I move my environment? And then there's like maybe like a little hint that says use ASD joystick or gyroscope to shift your environment. So this is where like you're in a capsule. Actually, I already have this a little bit drawn out. Like you're in this capsule over here, and if you shift your screen around, you can, or turn your screen all the way upside down, you fall onto this pad right here, and it will activate a door that's like right here. So it'll open the capsule. So that's kind of what I was thinking. All right, excellent. I activated the door. Let's get out of here. So you have to use that again to flip it around, fall, and then like almost move it to fall through the door. Like you're just like falling through stuff. Maybe we'll have less gravity, so like you move slowly through the air, so the gravity is not too powerful. Maybe I think I'll do that. All right, finally, I'm awake. What is that? Is that my conscience? So I'm thinking like as soon as you leave this room, it activates the conscience that you will control. So that this conscience can go through walls, go through anything. It's just, no collision there. That's kind of nice. So there's a fairy like sparkle on the screen you can use now and toggle your character, or will try to follow. Okay, so if I activate my body, I think I can touch it. So like maybe the fairy is over here, and like if you press the toggle button, it'll kind of walk to the fairy, and then that activates the next part of the tutorial where you get the next ability, which is why is my conscience separate from me? Maybe I can concentrate on moving it. I don't know, I have that on moving it. So now you can move using like arrow keys or a second joystick, like on consoles, or your finger on mobile to move your conscience around. Oh no, there's a door ahead, but no button to move it. So I have the second door right here. So this second door, it's like in order to move it, I have a node. I don't know, I'm just using triangles for now. We'll change what these nodes look like later on once we have our assets for this game. So I can feel there's a power node around me though. Maybe I can concentrate on it with my conscience and it will open. So you move your conscience to the power node and it will activate when held. Excellent. I can't believe that worked. Let's keep moving to the control center. I think I left my ship on autopilot. Ah, yes, I forgot I locked it. Okay, so with this, I was kind of thinking this is where you hold the node to activate it. There might be toggle nodes and there might be like hold nodes. So as long as you like have your conscience over it, it'll keep the door open, and then you have to use the gravity feature to fall through the door while your conscience is over the node. So that, I think that's like a kind of cool where you're combining the two to do puzzle in a way. And so it's like a cool realization for a tutorial of like, let's combine these two things. So I think that was a kind of cool idea. Also you could maybe do a lever node kind of thing where it's like you hold on it activates, and then you can move your conscience off and it'll stay activated. And then you can do the toggle where your character will follow your guy through the door if you don't want to do the twist. But the twist is probably the easiest or fastest way to get it done. All right, so that is about where we're there. Okay, so and then from here on I kind of start a story a little bit. Let's keep moving to the control center. I think I left the shot. Yes, I forgot I locked the door to the control center. Let's try to concentrate on the power node. I forgot this power node is not a toggle. This is where I kind of introduced the idea of maybe not all these things are like, hold and it activates and then you can move off. It's where you gotta actually keep on there. I need to try to get through without my conscience guiding me, aka you have to move the screen and it falls through. Finally, I made it to the control center. Let's check the status of the ship. Move conscious to the control panel and hold to activate. I just want fixing this. Okay, so I've been stuck in a cryo sleep for too long and the ship went into power save mode. We need to reach our destination though. Oh, we have reached our destination though. Looks like I'll have to power on the engines, research core, and control core. So that's where the game really just starts. You start to power on your ship, and once you power on your ship, you might dock at a space station. I don't think we should do this on Earth. I feel like it should be all in space kind of thing. So you dock at a space station of some sort. That's like some like explorers space station, and then you talk to maybe some other characters, or maybe you just have to go through the space station, powering up the space station like it was abandoned. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go with it, but like I think this is where we need to work on this. I think if we can get this tutorial down, this is a solid alpha demo start. Where if we could package it, so do all the game physics for this, and then also maybe get some art assets, make it look decent, we can then put this out as a demo, a free demo that anybody can play. And from there I either continue programming this game, or maybe I start working on the other game that my brother and I were going to work on, which is the game that like we want to do in the long run. Mainly because my brother is a game developer, and he wants to, you know, work on some stuff, but he's getting burnt out, and he wants to have a second person to bounce ideas off of and everything, as well as just like, you know, bounce the game off of. So yeah, that's basically what we're at. So as you can tell, I kind of mapped it out already, where, you know, the first room, you press this thing, or I don't know, you should try to get on top of this thing and it'll open this door. I don't have an animation to open the door, so I don't know how we're gonna do that. I think today's main goal, I want to see if I can link the camera to a turning mechanism. If I can link the camera to a turning mechanism, I will be happy. It's probably easy, maybe not easy, don't know, we'll see. And then also, if we get that, then maybe we can, I need to come with a door animation, like maybe like this, I don't know, can I like do, like this moves up and down, like when something is pressed? I don't know. So that's where I need to like come up with some different things, kind of. So we got a bunch of different things to do. Maybe let's like note them down. To-dos, let's actually do this. To do chronological. It just helps organize these streams so I can be able to do it. So chronologically, we gotta link camera to a rotation system. I think that's objective 1. I think objective 2 is link gravity to the bottom of the camera. I think that's like 2. That's like the second thing we should try to figure out how to do. Okay, so link gravity to the bottom of the camera. I'm trying to think of like things that we maybe could get done today. I feel like those are the only 2 things that are gonna get done today. We do I would like to make a door animation. I feel like that would try my hand at animation work. So making a door opening animation. So I'll try my hand at that and see how I can do that. After that, we can do a toggle, like a collision toggle. Collision toggle button to activate door animation. Because if I can get those 4 things done, then we have the first room. We have the first part of the tutorial done. Now we don't have the game assets that we would eventually need to create or buy or find that we like, but it gets us a step closer to the end goal of this game. So I think those are the 4 steps that we could do. We're probably gonna only get the first step done today, but we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the background. I have an idea. I have it in my head what we're doing. We're gonna link this camera. So when we press play right now, I have it so the camera is linked on the character itself. I don't have WASD movement or anything. It just sits there, focused in on the circle, which the circle is our character. So we need to link a control rotation thing to the camera. Let's use Google. How to, or Unity. Okay, so Unity, how to add camera rotation. 2D. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Rotate player and camera, 2D. Add camera tilt. Let's look at this really quick. Maybe they have something.
We have our velocity set. We might want to color some.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off the music because we're gonna probably be watching a lot of tutorial videos ourselves here.
To an input dot get axis, and we want the axis name, and we want this to be capital MOUSE space Y.
So it looks
then
like this
we're
guy
gonna
is coding from scratch, which we might have to
X
do.
rotation, right? The red line that's up here in the window. There we go. And so I'm going to say quaternion.
Yeah, this guy's coding from scratch. 2D camera and Unity. Cinemachine tutorial.
Something you always need when making a 2D game. This video is sponsored. That isn't included by
Let's see. What is he trying to show us? Because we needed like the angle.
camera. You can see over here it says does is that it applies all the settings of a level. Let's set it to something like 5. Camera.
All right, let me see. Let me see.
See if I move to the sides here, the camera stays in place. Actually, I recommend playing around with damping.
Unity rotating the and playing the player and camera Unity input system.
And it's got a script, and we're just going to call this player move and rotate, because it's going to describe what we're going to do.
Okay, this guy might actually have it.
So once again, using Pascal case, and I'm just going to attach that to the
So this guy is coming up with a script.
the Unity engine.
This is a C or the C sharp. Is that what this is? Yeah, the C sharp script.
Now we're going to need a few different variables. So we need to store the rotation of the player. So
Interesting. I didn't think we would need to store rotation of the player, but that might be.
Store that. We also need to be able to store the
Here, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit just because I kind of understand how this works. We got player speed and rotation speed.
character controller.
Okay, so I think I got a somewhat idea of how we need to do this. So if we go into our Unity, we're gonna need to add a script to our player camera technically. How do we add a script? Create empty assets, game object, camera. Oh, okay, no camera. UI document. How do you add a script? Visual scripting scene variables. What's this? Is this an actual script? Aha! There is a list of things here. So what is this? This is a graph with data variables, application variables, visual scripting, collision, generic. So these are like different scripts, sample scripts that they have to maybe include to like, you know, work with stuff. Let's see. Visual scripting. Trying to see if there's anything here that could like be a nice solid base, and then we edit it to do what we want it to do. I don't know. I want to just code from scratch. I think like there might be something that's already default there, but I kind of want to do this from scratch. Let's see. Where did he start? How did he add a player module thing?
Once again, using Pascal case, and I'm just going to attach that.
Wait, where? How did he add the script? Where's the button for the script? This is where it's stupid. I want to.
We're going to create a script, and we'll just.
What is this window he has here? Asset, wipe, third person camera. Let's see. I'm trying to find some stuff. How does this game organized? How is this all organized? I don't know how this is organized at all. We have the hierarchy up here. I would imagine you could like add a script over here to the hierarchy, but the hierarchy might only be objects, not scripts. Or, well, scripts are objects, but whatever. Because he has a hierarchy here, and then he has this panel. What is this panel? Oh, so he's like making a script completely separate of all of this. And then I think he adds it. So if that's the case, I guess we can do that. I guess we could do that. Let's go into this 2D this assets thing I have here. We can possibly, you know, add some scripts into here. Like this might be a little create C# script. Yeah, there we are. There we are. All right, let's create a C# script. We're going to call this one camera rotate. Camera rotate. All right, cool. So now if we open this will open Visual Studio so we can work with a camera rotate thing. Perfect. This is what we want. All right, so we have camera rotation module of sorts. I'm gonna copy this and send it over to my brother because he might actually want to like help me out or not, depending. Because if you always have a mentor in these things, it makes things very, very nice. Okay, so let's see. We have the camera. Okay, so I don't know C# too much, but I do know that it's fairly similar to Java, and I know Java, so install recommended extensions for C#. Let's install them just because yeah, trust workspace and install. Okay. And like I normally don't work with C# much, and I also don't work with Java too much, but I love Java in college, so I can probably get back into it pretty well. Whatever. Okay. So we have this script. It looks like we have using system collections generic. These are just basically Unity assets of some sort. I don't know what those are. So this is the class of the character rotate. It's inheriting mono behavior. Don't know what mono behavior has, but we have it. We have a start and an update. So from my game development class, it wasn't really a game development class, it was actually a GUI class. How these things work is that you have everything starts at the start, and then update is like it's per. It actually has it right here. Update is called once per frame. So basically, how scripts run is that it kind of runs top to bottom, but in that fashion, it needs to check and just be like, so the update, it checks certain things like, oh, is there collision? So you actually would include collisions in an update or whatever, because every frame would check that collisions. That's how in a lot of speedrunning, if you get perfect timing on things, you can get in between a collision and get inside walls and such. And that's actually how people utilize some glitches in speedruns, is because they check these frames, and there might be no other checkers that check like the off frame almost when they do break in, and that's how you kind of get through. So that's kind of like what the update does a little bit, and the start is like kind of just like how things start. The start is called before the first frame update. So this is just initializes things basically. This initializes things, this calls anything, and we want to do basically a little bit of both. We want to initialize the camera or camera properties, I guess, but we also want to update the camera whenever we're doing the A and D buttons to rotate the camera. So we got to figure out how to include these things. How do we include these things? So we have we're gonna need to get two inputs, so we can establish two inputs and maybe a rotation angle. That rotation angle can maybe then get inherited by or called by the player. So on the player's update frame, it can like move according to like how that rotation angle is. I think that might be how we might have to do it. I'm trying to think through it a little bit. So this guy, let's skip ahead again. This guy kind of does, so this is his player move and rotate. Here. So he has, player speed. We don't need player speed perchance, because we're actually going to be changing the gravity instead. But he has this rotation speed. We might need rotation speed. So that actually is a good thing. Maybe we do want to do that. So let's do, where does he put this? He puts this, okay, he just puts this in the initializing of the class. So we have player, or how does he do it? Okay, this is public, because it's a public variable. Float, that makes sense. And then let's see, he has player or rotation speed. Let's copy it. Rotation speed. All right. So rotation speed equals 0, or oh, he has it at 75. Oh, so he has a set rotation speed. Well, we could make our set for now. I kind of think that this would be more dynamic. Like the longer you press, the faster it rotates. That's kind of, I want to make it more dynamic in that way. So there's like an acceleration, rotation's acceleration. But I think they have a good point of maybe we can maybe we do have it like that. I'm gonna do that. Let's do, okay, rotation speed, let's do 15. Let's make it slow. I don't know how 15, I don't know what these 15 might mean. I don't know if that's 15 degrees, because that's fast, if that's per tick, like per frames, like boom boom boom, like just like the speed, but we'll see. Public float, let's do rotation, acceleration, and we're gonna set that to just 5. I don't know for now. We might not even use this later. Do we need colons at the end of these? Is this like, yes, we need colons. All right, good to know. We need colons to end our lines. Okay, so basically we have a rotation speed, we have a rotation acceleration. What's some other things that we can like kind of get some ideas off of this guy? So he has a character controller _cc. I don't know what character controller would do. Yeah, movement input. Ooh, we might need this. We need the movement input. And he has underscore. I don't know, underscore in like before a name in Python oftentimes means it's a private variable to this class, to the object. So float, rotate, movement input. I think that would make sense. I would have to see it in action to see how it works. It looks like he's working on the move down here, so we can maybe like, let's copy and paste these things basically. Oh, and it also says private right here. Okay, so let's copy this. I don't know what this rotate will do. I don't know how this guy is going to input it, but let's copy it for now. So private, what did he do? Private float vector 2. I don't know what vector 2 stands for exactly. Vector 2, what's vector 2 exactly? I don't know. Oh, it's capital V vector. Everything's normally case sensitive. Vector 2, movement input, rotate input. I'm gonna do that because we're doing things a little different than him. So we're not like copying 100%. We're trying to copy the idea of what he's doing, because I don't know how I'm supposed to do these things in Unity. So we'll have vector 2. I'm gonna do the character controller. I don't know what the character controller does. Private, what is this? Character controller, and then we got _cc. I guess we'll copy that. We'll copy that mechanism, whatever that is. And then we have a private float rotate. Private float rotate. I think that's solid. These are all underscores. I think that's just a convention to be able to remember that they're privates, the underscore. I'm pretty sure that's probably what that is. We'll see if that's coding convention or whatever. Okay, so we have a couple things. That we can start off with. That would be fairly nice for us. Okay, so let's see. Let's like kind of like look at what he's doing. I don't want to spend too much time on this. So start, he gets component character controller. Okay, so he kind of, I don't know what character controller is though. I think character controller might be the actual, because I think this guy's programming a third person kind of movement system. So I think he's getting the character controller so that when the character moves, it moves with that character, like the camera. So like this is the camera and this is the character. It'll like get the character movement, aka the character controller, and it rotates it with that. So I think that's what this is. We don't necessarily need that, but I'm gonna put it in there. So _cc, so character controller get component, brackets, and then parentheses. Okay, let's do this. So _cc equals get, is it character controllers? What is get component? Get component. Capital G get. Not like this is not lower camel case or whatever it is. Get component, and then brackets character controller, parentheses, and line. So that gets whatever that character controller is. We don't have a character controller set up, so this is kind of worthless to us right now. But we'll see where that goes later on. All right, so what do they have? They have on move, on look. So what does this do? He doesn't have notes for what these do, but we can interpret them a little bit. Movement input. Okay, IV input. IV, I don't know what IV stands for. Input, oh, input value. IV is input value dot get vector 2. So that's like getting some kind of thing. I don't know if that's like a button press. Maybe that's a button press. So on look. I'm trying to think. Get vector 2 dot G IV rotate. So I think we only need one of these because it looks like he's controlling camera and like the WSD like movement. So we only need the on look. Let's do that. Let's deal this. So void on camera maybe, because he has on rotate or on look. This isn't really look since we're doing a 2D. This is like on rotate. Let's do that. We actually could use our system that we kind of had. Our system was this is going to be GM for gravity movement or gyroscope movement or something like that. I think that's what I was going to call it. So we could do that naming convention in my thing. So on GM. So let's call this on GM. Or actually gravity movement. Yeah, I'll just do full, and then like we can have like variable names, right? Like GM or something like that. We can use those maybe. I think that could probably help us out, and just like naming convention in the future. We'll see. All right, so we have input. Ooh, input value. All right, input value. IV. Okay, so he just calls it IV. Good. We can do that. All right. So input value. All right, so movement input. Do we have a move? We made it that, right? We have rotate input though. We have something a little different. So, or no, we're looking at this one. We need to look at this one. I keep looking at the wrong one. So we have, okay, rotate input. Wait, did I do that right? Because we have rotation speed. Wait, what was his other ones? Rotate movement input. Okay, so that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, he has rotate only. We have rotate input. Okay, I think I see what he's going for. So he has the movement to move. And then is his rotate also? His rotate is also a vector movement. That's interesting. Okay, I gotta like do this. Hey, Simply, how are you doing? So, Simply, if you wanted to like see the premises, I kind of like go for the premises in the beginning of this video. I guess I can kind of go over it. Give me 1 second to finish this thought though. All right, so we have on rotate equals IV dot. What is he doing? He's getting the vector of like some control, whatever it is, vector 2. Okay, we'll go with it. And then this is dot X. I'm guessing that's X axis. Interesting. I'm trying to think about how that works. I'm just like, wait, I don't know how that would work. Okay, so all right, Simply what we are doing is, so we have today what we're doing is we're making a 2D game. I'm doing good. So basically our 2D game is we have this circle guy, whenever I press play, we have this circle. This circle is stuck in this room, right? But the movement that we are going to be able to use in this game is that when we press the A and D buttons on a keyboard, or using the side scrolling on a joystick, or the turning of a phone, the camera will rotate and the character will fall towards the bottom of this camera, however it rotates. So we want the camera to rotate all the way around 180, or the player controls the camera to rotate all the way around 180 to then have the ball fall onto this to then activate this door. So basically today we're really just working on the camera rotation system. That's all we're doing, because I'm really, you know, amateur at these things, but we want to work on the camera rotation system. So that's basically what we're working on right now. So we're going to do the camera rotation system. Then eventually I do want to link gravity to the bottom of the camera so that our character falls towards the bottom of the camera. And then after that, we're going to maybe do a door animation. That'll be some good practice. I don't know how to do animations. Then we'll do some collision toggle button to activate the door animation. So if we can get all 4 of these done, we'll have our first room of our tutorial done, basically. Aside from, we just need our assets technically. So we can get our first room done. Actually, the first room is more right. Oh, whoops. This is the first room. So that's room 1. This is a second mechanic. So my tutorial level, I kind of have these broken up into the mechanics. What is that? This is Unity right here, and then we're trying to code a little bit, trying to understand how we can code the whatever movement. So we have one mechanic that we're going to try to get done in the next week, 2 weeks, maybe. Who knows how long it'll take us. Why is the conscious separate from me? Maybe I can constrain moving it. Okay, so this is mechanic 2. This is mechanic 3, 4, and then 5. So there's 5 mechanics that we eventually have to get down. Once we have all of these mechanics, it should be as simple as we just make levels at that point. So that's kind of what I was thinking, is just like get these mechanics down, and then we're set basically. Once we have all 5 of these mechanics, as well as the art assets to make the game look decent, that's when we can just package this up as a demo, and we can throw it at people, and you guys can play it if you want. But this might take us months. Who knows? We're trying to just get this thing done. It'll be more than today at least. Okay. With that in mind, let's go back to work on figuring out how this works. I may or may not do that too. Yeah. Oftentimes when you're making a game, it's best to storyboard at tutorial level, because as you storyboard at tutorial level, that's when you can start understanding what you need to work on, like the mechanics. So there's 5 mechanics in this game that I kind of want to work on. So there's an activate mechanic, or there's 3. These are all different activate mechanics, so I can kind of steal them off each other. So yeah, hopefully we can get that to work. These 2 are the most crucial and most hard to do. So these are the ones I'm going to start out with. But yeah, oftentimes you want to look at and be like, what kind of mechanics do you have in the game? And then you just start showing the player how to use those mechanics in some kind of tutorial level. And then once you have that, you can take those mechanics and just put it in different ways. Sometimes people put it so there's mechanics throughout the game that get added on, and we might actually do that too. But we want to get the basic mechanics down. If you can get the basic mechanics down, that gets a nice alpha, or a nice alpha demo that you can put out. So we're gonna do that. Okay, let's see what this guy does though. I'm gonna skip ahead. What does this guy do? All right, so he does a movement forward. He has a move. I'm trying to let's see how his thing works. So he has a move, WASD movement right there. That's what he just made. He just made WASD movement, if you can tell. So he still needs to add rotation to the character. So this is where we're gonna need to copy him a little bit, right here. Right here. This is perfect. Okay. So he has move player. This is a whole function. That's where he does all the logic of how to move a player. We might do the same thing, except for it's going to be rotate player or rotate screen. I think it'll be something like that. I have 3 hours on a car ride, so I got some free time. I might dive into it. Okay. Yeah, let's see here. So we're back here. We have our start that just initializes the component controller. Actually, does this guy have a script we could? No, he doesn't have a script. Okay. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Because he just does WSD and then probably a turn.
Nice quick.
Yes, he has a turn, and it's based on a mouse, which is perfect. We might want that. Okay.
Mission speed and
So, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? Okay. Let me look at this. He hasn't done anything to the vector to this rotate.
time.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything to it with the move player, so we're gonna skip his whole move player step. Unlock blah 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 blah. He has this after the update, which makes sense. All right, so let's make the void what was this called? He calls it move player. We're gonna do rotate screen. So we're gonna do rotate screen. So he takes, let's skip ahead now when he starts doing the camera movement. Transform dot rotate. Ooh, okay, that's easy. That's easy. It's literally just the transform dot rotate. So I'm pretty sure there is probably some kind of library that is literally rotates. So we're just going to be stealing that library, and we're going to use that library to rotate our screen. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So he has vector 3 up. What is vector 3 up? Where does he get that? Oh, he has vector 3 movement right here. Equals new vector movement input dot x, movement input dot y. Okay. So I see vector movement because I think he was using his mouse to move the screen. We don't necessarily want that kind of movement, but we might steal it for now, and then we'll have to input the WSD movement later. Actually, we know he has vector 2 movement. He has vector 2 movement. What's vector 2 movement? Vector 2, he uses movement transform forward times movement dot x, movement dot right, movement x, movement delta times speed, physics gravity times delta time. Okay. So if I understand this correctly, in order for a character to move, you need them to move over time or something like that, over a frame, a tick. In Minecraft, it would be a tick. Here, it would be a frame, whatever it is, a frame of time. That's what you have this update module that we talked about earlier. So every update, every frame, it will call this and just check how is the player moving? Is it moving a little forward during this tick? Is it moving aside during this tick? Is it moving diagonally during this tick? That's basically what it's doing. My brother texted me, who programs at 8 a.m. on a Saturday? A guy that has no other time to do it. So let's look at this and try to think about how we're doing this. All right, rotate player. Oh, I just realized that's not one. That needs to be one thing. Okay. Transform rotate. Here, let me pause this again so I can maybe listen to this guy. So he's gonna do rotate player, rotation speed times delta time. Except for he's using a mouse. I don't want to use a mouse. I need to steal his WSD movement. Oh, it's paused.
And see if it works.
All right, let's see.
We've got 4 back, left, right, and if we turn our mouse left and right, the character faces that direction, and more importantly, will move in that direction. So we've got some nice, quick player controls. Okay. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, okay, we gotta steal this and figure out how to turn it into 2D movement. Cause, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to get our play.
Alright. We need to turn this into 2D movement. How do we turn this into 2D movement? Movement input. Where is he using this movement input? He's using it. Movement input right here. Dot X, movement input dot Y. I want camera movement. That's the problem. Kind of the problem that I'm dealing with is I want camera movement. not other movement. Because he's moving X, Y. I need to think about, what is it called? Calculus in a way, almost. Or is this trigonometry? Because when you're moving X, Y, you're shifting like this. You want to shift like this. Like doing the roll. Like in flight, it'd be doing a roll. What are you trying to do, Matthew? So we are trying to make it so, or where's my game? Here it is. We're trying to make it so we rotate the camera on this 2D screen. That's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to rotate the camera on the WSD movement, like A and D, I guess. Yeah, the A and D. So A will move like tilt left, D will move tilt right. That's basically what I'm trying to do right now. So I'm trying to, like, this guy, I'm just looking at basic movement and trying to figure out if I can attach that different movement to attach that movement to the camera itself and not the character. And so, and like, it's the camera is going to be linked on the character, so it's basically like you're controlling the character, but I want it to control the camera. I guess we could be cheeky and get around it by controlling the rotation of the character. Oh, that is kind of cheeky, because the whole idea is you're rotating the camera, the environment around you. But, you know, we're going to be cheeky little peoples. All right. So I'm just trying to figure out how to rotate. So we got rotation. I'm not going to implement acceleration. I kind of want it to be dynamic, where like the longer you hold it, the faster it rotates. But we'll work on that later. That's something too complex that we'll do for now. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know exactly what this Vector 2 class does. I was just copying this guy, but this guy is doing a little bit different than what we want. He has it rotating this way, which if I could just translate that to be like flat, rotating like that, I think that's perfect. So yeah, that could be fine there. If you want to help me out by giving me a Discord call, we could do that, Matthew. But I'm just trying to figure this out a little bit, trying to understand how I use C# because I don't use C# that often, and like using this in Unity to actually get it to work. Because for one, I don't even know how does this link to this. Because would it be up here linked to the third? Yeah, I think it is linked to his player third person. I think it is later there. In a 2D game, the axis of rotation you would want is what is that which extends straight out from the camera, which is the x-axis. So is it, so it's x-axis and z-axis then. So it's not xy, because xy is like that, but it's x and z, or z, x, like that. zx. Or the z-axis. Oh, no, the z-axis. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's x, y, z, or no. Let me look at this really quick. Does this tell me the rotation of the axis? What? It's not. How do you see the axis? When you're in 2D mode, here it is, there. Well, this is y and x. Now that I'm looking at it, this is y and x. Okay, vector 2 is the algebraic representation of a line in a graph, like what you do in middle school. Yeah, I understand like a vector is, direction. It's a directional thing, like the formula for like on a graph that y equals x is a line that goes diagonally up a graph. That is a vector technically. It's directional, that goes that way. Vector 2 of 1, 1 means there is a line pointing 45 degrees upwards. Yeah, that makes sense, because that'd be x1, y1, and that would be a 45-degree angle that forms that. When like if you have x1, y2, that might be a 60-degree angle. I don't know that. I don't feel like doing the math for figuring out what that is. But yeah, so that would make sense. I'm trying to equate that to what it looks like in games. I like this. That I kind of understand a little bit of how whatever it is. Why is this moving? This circle is slowly over time moving. Oh my goodness. Hey, where did my camera go? Where did my camera go? Camera. Does my camera actually cling to this? Let me see. It does cling to that. Okay, so what if I press play? It'll. I do have it so it falls and drops and hits that. Yeah, close enough for my like a 60-degree angle estimation. Okay, so we don't need to mess with this though. We don't need to mess with that. We're trying to mess with this. We're trying to understand how we're taking these values and how we're trying to translate them onto the thing. Yeah. So we want to rotate screen. I don't know exactly how we get inputs. Like the guy at this tutorial I'm following, how is he getting inputs? Let me go to the beginning. Actually, I might have not watched what imports he's using. What is the imports he's using? He is using the normal Unity imports. He's grabbing a third one. What is this? Unity Engine input system. I don't have that. But I am technically I do have this, which you could grab from that. But let's just grab the input system. Input. Is it system or value? This might be an old video, so the libraries might have changed over time. We'll see. A vector 3 is the same thing except it includes the z-axis. That would make sense. That makes sense. Which would make things a lot, man. Oh, I don't want to do linear algebra. I'm assuming Unity does most of the linear algebra for me, so I don't have to do linear algebra because linear algebra was such a pain. It's very helpful, very helpful. If you guys want to if you want to become a genius for like doing a lot of this stuff, you really concentrate hard in your calculus, geometry classes, and then once you get to college, focus very hard on your linear algebra. The input system is kind of confusing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out the input system because you don't need linear algebra. Yeah, I assume this is going to take care of the linear algebra for us, so we don't have to deal with the vectors because I don't feel like dealing with vectors. Okay, so he inputs these. We already did that stuff. You need to be able to conceptualize 3D space. Yeah, that's basically the whole idea. Luckily, we're only doing a 2D game, so we only have to worry about the 2D vectors, not the 3D vectors. So if this guy says any kind of 3D, see, he has vector 2, not vector 3. He has vector 3 for the camera later on. That's where we don't need that. We only need a vector 2. Get vector 2. See, my whole goal of the day is to get the camera done. That's my goal of today. If I can get the camera to rotate back and forth, I am happy. And then next time I'll apply gravity to the camera where the character falls according to the bottom of the camera. That's kind of like what I was thinking. So that's a whole other, that's for next time. But this time I just want to get this camera working. On look, get vector 2. Ooh. Oh, right here. Wait, I already did that though. Didn't I do that? Yeah, I have this. I call it gravity though. Gravity movement.
And I'm just
and he has move player. We don't want the move player. Well, we kind of want the move player because the move player does something that we like. Vector 3 movement equals new vector. We don't have a new vector 2. He only does the new vector 3. But I think that makes sense because he's trying to get, like, he has the camera above, and so that's like a third degree of movement, like of space. If it was like this, it'd just be the 2, not rather than like the third where it's an angle. So I guess that makes sense. For the input, try putting the update function if okay. Let me copy that really quick and just update function. If input dot key down key code a camera dot transform dot rotate blah 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 over time. Yeah, so it rotates 45 degrees. Is that 45 degrees over time? I feel like I'd make that smaller, but that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That might work. That makes sense. Might work. Yeah, it makes sense a little bit. Input dot key down. I just gotta figure out what the input is. I don't really have input assigned anywhere. I don't know how this guy has input assigned. I have no idea how this guy has input assigned.
So we'll
Yeah, I gotcha. I'll have to
something
fix that syntax.
Let's just make sure we call it here.
Do if functions and yeah, if open. Okay, I see. So this you need the parenthesis here, and yeah, that looks good right there. Oh, whoops. Did I just? Oh, I was highlighted. That's why. All right. Just fixing some syntax to make it look a little prettier. There we go. Something like that. That looks decent. So yeah, if the input key down, I hate this kind of. I like to compress it a little bit better, but that's just me. I like compressing so I can be able to see these lines a little better. That's okay. Some people don't like that. I like it though. All right, so I don't know. So we want to rotate transform.rotate. Let me just
So we're gonna
actually let me just copy this really quick. Transform.rotate vector 3 up.
times it by rotation speed and times time.delta time. And if we turn our mouse left,
Here, let me really quick steal this. I'm just gonna type this up and then we'll fix it later on. I kind of wanna do that. All right, simply I'll see you in a second. Vector 2 dot up. I don't know. Times underscore rotate times my camera's this is in the way. Don't copy and paste what I did. Type it in and let autocorrect fix it for you. Oh, my autocorrect doesn't. I don't know. My autocorrect's not working right now. I don't know. I don't think I have any autocorrecting features in my Visual Studio or whatever this is called. The Visual Studio. I was right. I'm right. I know what I'm doing. Time dot delta time. Delta time. Whatever delta time is in this game. I don't know I do understand it. I just don't know where that's coming from, but whatever. You can have little black boxes of things sometimes when you're programming. Okay. And that's it for him. That's all he does. I don't need this move player, all of it at least. Physics.gravity times time. On update, we want to do rotate screen. Rotate. Oh wait, no, not rotate the. Rotate screen. We need to call that. So when it updates, it'll rotate. I think this whole if statement we'd put in the rotate, I imagine, right? Or isn't set up at all. Yeah, my Visual Studio is not set up at all. I don't use Visual Studio too much, mainly because I'm working in Python and I work in Python on PyCharm rather than Visual Studio. So I'm just doing this on a whim. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Okay. All right, we got movement, physics, gravity times time delta time. I'm trying to understand how we might do this. Actually, you know what? Why don't we let's copy what this guy does and just see how it turns out. Maybe it turns out good, maybe it doesn't. Because he has rotate player. Once he finishes rotate player, what is... He has vector 3 up. This vector 3 is not the same vector 3 up here. Where is this vector 3 coming from then? Because that vector 3 is not inherited anywhere. It's in its own void function. I guess it might just be like a vector 3 might just be a thing that's inherited and it just knows where I did. Should I get out of bed? It'll massively help. Then you're I don't know. You can stay in bed. I mainly am scheduling my Saturday mornings to try to just work on things just to learn, because it's the one time of the day that I have to without being bothered to do things. Let's see. Where does this vector 2 come in? I'm trying to look around. You don't need me to. I'm still in bed too. Yeah. Oh, if you didn't know, simply that Matthew, he's the software developer, my brother, that I'm working with for the game in the future that we're gonna maybe eventually make. Oh, we'll see. First, I want to get up to date in Unity, how I do Unity. All right, I'm gonna Control S this, aka save it. I don't know if this doesn't make sense that it would work, but it seems like it takes a input of vector 2 here. And I'm curious if this will work. Just if I attach this script to something. Let me attach it wherever oh crap, I don't know where I saved it. Oh, I think this is it right here. Can I attach this to this? No? Ah, Matthew's calling. Yo. Okay, I got my settings all set up. Okay.
Hey, can you hear me?
He's just getting out of bed. Yeah, I can slam it so I hear you. True, and it's only 8:30 a.m. your time right now. On a Saturday. Woo.
Nathan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I'm sick and my voice is destroyed.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, go back to your code. Wow, I didn't realize my voice is this bad.
Yeah, your voice is so
I
garbage.
spent half the night coughing and I didn't even like talk.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I have no idea how Unity grabs the inputs, because maybe this guy has some background somewhere that does something, but like it makes no sense to me. Like I guess maybe
Okay,
the dot input system might do it, but it's never used using Unity.
Alright, hang on, sorry, I'm getting like your YouTube is coming in like 2 seconds after your Discord.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me to share on Discord? I'm gonna share my screen on
I
Discord.
don't care, it's just hard to hear.
Yeah, mute my YouTube. Okay.
Okay, so Nathan, so there's the innate. Okay, hang on. I gotta go get a cough drop or something. I'm gonna log on my computer. This is not working.
Okay. Okay.
well.
You go take care of yourself. It'll take me another hour to find out this on my own, I imagine. Okay. Let's see here. So he's off for a second. I need to figure out how to attach this script to the character or to the camera. How do I attach a script to a camera? Is there like a thing where it's like properties? Oh, I know. Is it just drag and drop over here? Yeah, it's just drag and drop over there. That's where it is. So we can just drag and drop it over here to the inspector, because the inspector has it on camera, and it's like boom, booyah, you get that. All right. All compiler errors have to be fixed before you enter play. All right, there's a compiler error. There is a compiler error. What is our compiler error? Expected. I think I'm missing apostrophe. Where am I missing apostrophe? Ah, right here. I'm missing apostrophe right there. All right. Go back to the screen. Let's try running this again. Expected line 22 or 21. We need some apostrophes. 21. Oh yeah, I see. There's no apostrophe there. Okay, or not apostrophe. Whatever that's called. Colon. Oh, here we are. We're getting lots of errors. This is where we gotta work through our errors, because I suck at this. All right. The type or namespace of input system does not exist in the namespace Unity engine. You're missing an assembly reference. Okay. The type of namespace input value could not be found. You are missing the. All right. So this is line 20. Input value. So input system is not an actively used Unity engine thingamajig anymore. How old is this video that I'm copying? It's a year old. It shouldn't be that bad. I imagine it shouldn't be that bad. But like, I'm sure. Okay. Or maybe did I forget something? Did I forget another input, or what do we call it? Where is he? Here we are. No, he has his normal stuff. Oh, I don't know. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well. So, yeah, we have to figure out libraries. Apparently we don't have libraries. This sucks. This sucks quite a bit. Let me save that. Maybe that's gonna... Oops. All right, so we're literally missing the type of namespace input value could not be found in line 19. So basically this does not exist, whatever input value is. Makes sense. I was kind of wondering that, like, how is this guy getting his input values? The input value does not exist. We need to figure out how to get input value. I don't know how that works right now. Unity Engine getting inputs in C# is something that I haven't done before. Actually, maybe this guy, he didn't show it on screen. Let me look at this though. On the right hand side of this his inspector, he might have a input system in here. Does he have a input system? He might have it on the player. Aha, look at this. Okay, player input right here. He has a player input system right here. So maybe we need to add this to our camera. Add a player or an input. So add component. Let's look up input. Input field. Is there like a player, or what is his thing called? He just has player input. Is that the name of the script that we made, or that he's going to make? Just want to double check that. Player move and rotate. No, it's a little different than what he's looking at. He has player input, Unity default, input action asset, UI, module.
Okay, all right. Okay, Nathan, I'm back.
Okay. You sound like you're in the background of a room or something like that, but okay.
Well, my throat's just eviscerated right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, or maybe my camera's not working great. Okay, go back to your... Okay, so there's two ways of doing player input. There's the easy way, and there's the more complicated but better way. We're gonna go with the easy way for now.
Okay.
All right, go to your script.
Okay, we're at our script. I'm just gonna split screen. I think that's easier. I'm also gonna just share my screen. Screens, share one. Yeah. Just so you can maybe see it better here.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works. Okay, so up at the top, line 4, put using Unity Engine.input.
Unity Engine.
So just like Unity has its own built-in lighting system and physics engine and everything, it also has a way to register input from your keyboard and mouse. So that's that library.
Okay, that's easy enough.
Okay, so now go down to your update function.
Okay.
So just type in. Actually, no. So well, actually, no. So type in that function if input key down, and let it autocomplete where it will. In parentheses, key code dot whatever key you want, rotate.
Wait, key.
Wait, it should be key code. Wait, what's going on here?
Key
Wait, hang on,
dot.
do we type in the right thing?
Key down dot? No.
Oh, hang on. If you already have the freaking other thing plugged in, then this actually might not work because Unity Engine overrides it. Hang on a second.
I took out any other input because whatever input that guy had, it wasn't compiling. So
it's an actual built-in plugin that actually goes into Unity. That's not part of the code itself.
gotcha.
Because if you did that, then that makes this kind of a lot more obnoxious because you have to like configure like various input files. It's kind of annoying.
Oh, so it's like you have to import a Unity class into Visual Studio. Is that what you're talking about, or like the asset stuff?
Well, you have to import. Well, kind of.
It's the extensions or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, the input class should be a capital I, a lowercase I. Wait. What's going on?
Let me double check this. Dot
It doesn't.
input. There's input. The thing is, I think I put input value before, and I think that's why it thinks there's like an input value. Let me see if there's like another extension. Can I add extensions here?
Yeah, dang it.
Unity.
Yeah.
Unity
Tools.
tools.
Why it's not letting you use that? I think it's-
Debugger for Unity, Unity code. Oh my gosh, there's gonna be so many Unity assets here for Visual Code. I don't know which one would be the best, or the official, if there is an official one. Yeah, one thing I hate about starting projects in some kind of programming language is like trying to set up the IDE.
Well, this is less the IDE and more of your actual project environment. Normally, this isn't a difficult thing to do, but because you're using a pre-built project.
Oh, am I using pre-build? Oh yeah, I guess I think I probably started 2D, like a 2D pre-build project.
Wait, so what was? I have an easier way of doing this. Is there already a script written for player input?
Add component, player, control turret, quit handler. I don't think I have anything input.
Oh, wait, hang on a second. Did you start this thing from scratch, or is this a thing that you imported from somewhere else?
How did I start this? I started this new project. What did I do? I did new project and I just did 2D core. I think that's probably what I did.
Okay, all right. So you didn't get it from the asset store or anything?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I wanted to go fairly from scratch, so I just did 2D core.
That's good. Okay, so you got your camera rotate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is our script.
I'm trying to figure out why it's not letting you just do the capital I input. Like it should. Does it actually compile for you?
Let me see. Input. Yeah, let's just leave it that. Control S.
Comment outline 26. Can people on YouTube hear me?
Technically, yes, they can. You're turned down quite a bit though, so they could probably barely hear you. There's only one person watching, really. Simply, he's just a kid that wants to learn a little bit about programming.
Okay, so all right, go back to Unity, see if it compiles.
Unity line 4 input does not exist in the namespace Unity engine.
Oh, okay.
Let's do capital I.
Checking in capital I. Maybe it's not just auto correcting for you. It's like the first thing I recommend getting working is
using namespace directive can only be.
Oh, hang on. Are you opening this script like separately outside of Unity, or are you doing it through Unity?
Outside of Unity.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Well, the thing is, okay, so I created the script and it opened in Visual Studio, but this Visual Studio is outside of Unity.
No, I know. Right, you said click. Did you click add component? And then you double clicked on it and it opened in here?
No, I didn't. Actually, let me let me do that.
Wait. Yeah. So yeah, add a new component. No, don't remove it. It's whatever. Add a new component.
This new script.
Name it delete me.
Huh?
Name it delete me.
Okay, delete me.
Okay. Good. Now double click on it. No, sorry, no, not on the part where it says delete me.
There we go. Open.
Okay. Oh. So no, you are connected then.
I guess I was.
Okay, here's the way you check. Go to what Visual Studio is this?
I don't know what Visual Studio I have. If it's opening up my normal Visual Studio, oh crap, it doesn't tell me the version. Gosh darn, why doesn't it tell me the version? Does it say it in a folder here? No, no, it does not. Visual Studio, is there like a setting that tell me? Settings. No, not gonna tell me.
I mean, it should just say right at the top, like. Are you
I
on
don't
Mac?
know. What? No, I'm not on Mac.
Are you on a Mac?
No, I'm not on Mac. I'm on PC. Why would I ever be on? I don't know how to use Mac.
All right, go back to Unity.
Okay, I have no idea. Maybe Visual Studio 17. I feel like it's the last one I used before.
Oh, okay. Up to file in Unity. File.
Oh, file. Okay.
Project. No, sorry. The second one next to it.
Open scene. Oh, edit.
Edit. Project settings near the bottom.
Project settings. Okay.
Okay. Wait, no. Exit out of that. Sorry, it's edit preferences, not project settings.
Edit. Preferences.
It's right next to project settings.
Okay.
Okay. External tools.
External tools. Open with file extension. Okay.
Okay. External script. Okay, so we need to connect this to your proper Visual Studio. I don't know what's going on here. Wait, what? Let's say file.
Okay, open by file extension.
The fortunate thing about this, you only ever have to do it once. Like any project you ever you only ever see whenever you create Unity, this saves across all projects.
So I'm guessing what this is doing, open by file extension, is going to look at Windows file extensions and be like, oh, you want these opened in your Visual Studio, so it'll use Visual Studio.
It should have it.
I'm guessing. Actually, let me go to browse.
Your external script editor. Oh, wait, you're doing Visual Studio Code. Okay, so you want Visual. Okay, so click on that and click Browse. Do you have or actually, can you download the community version of Microsoft Visual Studio 2022? It's actually incredible.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Why do I have Visual Studio Code and not the other ones?
Yeah, you don't want code. That's not good.
Maybe that was like my last project I did in college.
Visual Studio 2022. It is incredible. It'll actually predict what you want to code with shocking accuracy.
Community. Yeah, let's go for this.
Type in left hand or left turn angle amount, and then it'll have in a suggestion below that right turn angle amount. And I'm like, holy crap.
Huh.
No.
All right, let's install this thing. This feels like college all over again. Spend half your time. Do I need to? Okay, let me see. Does it go to my desktop? Is there any preset workloads that I should probably download that might be helpful? Develop C++. We don't develop in C++.
Unity is the. All right, wait. Sorry, go back to the top.
I think
So,
Unity might actually install
you don't
these.
need any of that. Scroll down a bit. Okay. Universal Windows Platform Development. I think you want that.
Okay.
All right, go down. You want Unity Development, definitely. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably about it.
That's it. Okay.
Oh boy. 7? No, that's
17 gigs? What is so freaking big?
Oh, IDK, you got Minecraft Java. Sweet. You want to play Minecraft in VR, of course. It's actually not as impressive as you might think it is. It's semi-impressive if you can get cool graphics to work. All right, what am I doing here? Let's Open by
Okay, so yeah,
files.
once then that installs, you're gonna want to.
I might uninstall Visual Studio Code. I don't think I'd use it anywhere
No,
else.
you don't need, don't uninstall it. It's fine. You just gotta reset your reference to the Visual Studio once it's done installing.
I'm going to save my project and
You know,
close
this
it.
is gonna make your life way easier.
I'm gonna close out of my project then, just because that's easier. Kind of wanting a Twinkie for some reason right now. Twinkie, that'd be good.
Sorry, can you turn down the volume a little bit? Over there playing Pokemon.
Oh, I started playing Pokemon Arceus. The intro of the game, like, you know how like all Pokemon games or all Nintendo games have like tutorial intro stuff and everything. It was stupidly long. Like, I think it took me 40 minutes before I got into the core gameplay loop of Pokemon Arceus. So 40 minutes, that's horrible. I hate it. But once you're in it, it's actually pretty fun. I didn't think it'd be that fun.
I was playing art, but I got to I wait to play Pokemon Arceus too. I wait to play Pokemon Arceus also.
Nice, or
What are you playing right now?
Now Pokemon the new game. Right now Pokemon Scarlet.
is that Pokemon Scarlet? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, it's all way out.
Nice.
Yeah, you got it for his birthday.
That's awesome. I was thinking about getting it. I technically play on emulators though, so it doesn't work on emulator. Man, it's gonna. How does my YouTube audience like this? Watching a installer installing a thing.
Well, this is the type of thing you should have asked me about before starting streaming on YouTube.
Well, I just wanted to, like, you know, this morning kind of just go at it and just see what I can do.
I guess this is good because if they want to develop stuff, they'll need to know about this too.
Yeah. And there's a couple people in my audience that really want to know this stuff, just like how to get started and such. I don't know. I'm really actually let's go to my storyboard really quick.
There's a billion tutorials out there, but
Yeah, and you just gotta find the right one that works with what you're trying to work with. Yeah, I got a pretty solid like to-do list though that, like, you know, step by step it probably developed this pretty
okay,
smoothly.
So wait a minute, go back up. So you're trying to link the camera to the rotation and link gravity to the bottom of the camera. Why not just link the world to the rotation?
Because like maybe I do. I imagine I'm gonna add enemies into the game, and I want the enemies to actually be normal gravity
According to you or according to the world?
according to the world.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm thinking just keeping it all under the character. It would be very funky if like you did have the entire world, and so you're moving the enemies around. That could be a very interesting.
Well, it depends on how they just interact with it.
Yeah, so that's where, who knows, maybe I might have certain enemies that like they're a child of the camera in a way somehow, so they do link to the camera and other enemies don't. So like maybe certain enemies are like you can mess with, certain enemies you can't mess with.
Well, fortunate thing is it's literally 2 lines of code.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too worried about that at this stage. Like literally, like I don't know if you heard the beginning, but like my stages, I just want to finish this whole chunk of tutorial level, which is basically get out of the. I kind of have it modeled a little bit. Oh wait, no, I don't have it open. Basically, get through the first room where you just toggle a pad and it opens a door, and then move your conscience around. Learn how to move your conscience around, like AKA move this little fairy node that does things, and then move. Using that fairy node, open the next door. And then you're basically in a UI system, or you'll enter a control center where you can activate a UI system that tells you where to go and such. That's basically what I want to do, because if I can get this whole chunk done, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do for art assets, but once I get this whole chunk done, that's a solid alpha tutorial demo. If I can get that done, I can, you know, work with that from there, and then just like start playing, like just start mapping out the levels and whatnot. And just adding some funky puzzles, and maybe add some more like stuff that might make it interesting. But yeah, that's kind of like I just feel like that's a solid start. They'll teach me a lot of the core things of how to do a 2D platformer at least. The thing is, the game that what was the game that we're doing? The game we're doing was going to be, yeah, it was going to be a 2D. Yeah, it was a 2D. This is the Heat Flow game or whatever it's called. Did you do Bone Labs? I really
I've
watched.
been working on the logistics game for the last 2 days, and it's like I can actually do this entire game without like any real world simulation stuff. It could all just be done through UIs if I really wanted it to.
Yeah. UIs are fairly easy because you just link, oh, if you click on this thing, it does this thing, and that's it, or whatever. It's like, it's pretty.
Oh, I mean, it can be.
It can be easy. It depends on how many UIs you're throwing in there.
Yeah.
I think I had I remember my GUI class from like my second year of college. That was like the messiest thing ever because we had like 100 UIs, and it's like this is just a pain.
You gotta do all the different anchoring systems and everything. It can be a kind of a pain.
Yeah.
Make sure everything like inherits.
Yeah, I think we were using Java effects to try to make Baldur's Gate, basically, like the board game. And just imagine how many UIs and stuff would be involved in that process. It was a mess.
Okay, is your thing done installing?
Yes, it just, oh no, wait, what is this? Setup
Right, so
failed?
No. Just go back to Unity now. Oh wait, failed.
Yeah. Retry? All right, well, looks like this stream is gonna install while downloading. I don't know, sure. What? I don't. Here, let me check a couple things.
Wait, click the button that says view problem.
Wait.
Problem. I'll just click retry because it's gonna probably just do this.
Sorry, something. Most informative thing ever. Oh, I hate it when there's like things that's like contact your system administrator. I'm like, I am the system administrator. Tell me what's wrong. All right, let me double check. See program files. Do I have something in this folder? Is that's causing it? Microsoft Visual Studio. No, it should be fine. Here, let's just install, download all, then install. Let's try that. I don't know. This is probably doing something weird. It could be a game where in the last half you get linked to your body and it's like Fireboy and Water Girl. Oh, that's actually a neat idea, IDK. So like my game, like you're like kind of dislinked from your body the entire game, but near the end, like it switches, so you're actually controlling your character finally. I had like a whole aspect that like, because I think that I could work with this game and do like, you know, it'd be a perfect project to test out a lot of things in Unity, because I also have like an idea of like adding like some co-op game modes where like player 1 controls the character and players 2+, they all control different consciences that you have to protect the player. So you can like have some kind of zombie survival mode where like all these guys are trying to protect the one character, and the main character guy, like player 1, is just trying to survive as long as possible, like running away, while all these other consciences are like firing lasers at the enemies and such. So I just thought that like you can do like a lot of different things. So that could help, you know, maybe get me to figure out how to do multiplayer at some point. I don't know. Maybe do conscience battles. Who knows? Okay, this is the boringest thing ever. How does the Pokemon Scarlet game look? Does it look good? Have you seen your Soren play it or whatever? Is he not there anymore?
He's too engrossed in it to respond.
No, I'm only halfway through the game.
Nice.
We have
What Pokemon do you have?
All right, I'm gonna mute myself for a second. All right, guys. Just to let you know, I'm probably gonna end the stream right now because we're having issues with just installing, you know, assets and everything. Just trying to make sure we have the Visual Studio Code. So I'm probably gonna end the stream now. I might do another one today, or just get this figured out and then just do a what do you call it? I might just do like another video just covering what I did today. So that might be what I do instead. Because I can probably explain it a lot easier if in a short form content rather than you guys sitting around for an hour and a half trying to like wait for me to do something that actually you learn from. So thank you guys for watching. I'll end the stream here, and yeah, we'll continue making this game as well as any other future games, and we'll, you know, you guys can be the first ones to try it. I'll put this out for free forever when I do get this done, which will probably be months from now. Don't want to get expectations too high. Yeah.